Dana, have you taken the roll?
Yes, Mayor Mackey. Councilman Leonard Klemp will not be attending today due to a death in his immediate family.
Well, I wonder who that could have been.
I think we should send flowers.
I think flowers could be a little extravagant. Why don't we just all sign one card that says, sorry for your loss?
Oh, but we can't really send a card until we find out what happened, who died, how, when.
I think it's important to know the specifics so that the card can properly convey our feelings.
Yes.
You can find out exactly what happened and who it was that passed.
You want me to call Councilman Klemp back and ask him who died and how?
Yeah, Dana, that's what you should have done in the first place, so go ahead and do that.
Oh, I don't feel comfortable prying. I received the message through text.
Dana, it's your job.
What did the text say?
It said, I'm not going to be able to make it to council today. Someone in my family died. And I just responded, I'm sorry. I didn't want to ask a lot of questions and bother him.
You should in the future.
Dana, why don't you just give me Leonard's phone number after the meeting and I'll call him. We need to keep moving, please.
Yes, Mayor Mackey.
Dana, if you would please read the first item on the agenda.
Emergency housing for the displaced citizens of Magro. The council requested former Mayor Joe Mackey to be a part of the discussion.
Is Joe here?
Yes, he is.
Okay, if Joe could join us at the podium. Because of the time-sensitive nature of this meeting, we've introduced a bell system to keep us on track, and I'd like to explain that to you before we begin. When you hear this first bell, that means that you have 2 minutes left to speak. 2 bells following signifies that you have 30 seconds remaining. 3 bells means that you have exceeded your time. Unless you hear a 4th bell, that means that you've been granted an additional minute and can continue until the 5th and final bell. Joe, we'd like to thank you for joining us here today. I know this must be difficult.
Why would it be difficult?
You're not the mayor anymore?
Well, that's because Jim ran an interesting campaign.
Oh, here we go again.
Come on, Jim, just admit it. You took that picture. It's you in that picture, not me.
Joe, I think you're being very childish at a time when hundreds of people are depending on the decisions we're going to make here today. If you could please put this on the back burner for now. Thank you, Roy. Now, Joe, we've asked you down here today to discuss the possibility of repurposing the homeless shelter to house the victims of the Magro tornado.
Well, let me start out by pointing out the obvious irony that you all spent months trying to run me out of office. But in your time of need, it's me you turn to.
Sorry, that was a mistake. My bad.
I have every right just to turn around and walk out of here. But I'm not going to do that because I actually care about the citizens of Overlook. What was that bell for?
You have 2 minutes left to speak.
All right, well, in the interest of time, I will cut to the chase. The homeless shelter is full, and I have nowhere to put the residents on such short notice. What was that bell for?
You now have 30 seconds.
There's no way that I was speaking for a minute and a half. You know, this new bell system of yours is a joke.
Look, Joe, we all have to make sacrifices at times like this.
I'm sure the homeless would understand. They already know what it feels like to be homeless.
I am not kicking the Overlook homeless back onto the streets to rehouse the Magro homeless.
Magro victims are not homeless, Joe. They lost their homes in a tornado.
But the very definition of the word homeless implies that someone who is homeless used to have a home before becoming homeless.
So if you've ever lived in a home at any point in your life and you no longer live in a home, you are homeless.
That would be correct. But what if you've lived in a non-traditional structure?
Like a teepee or a yurt, something like that.
Yeah, or like an adobe hut, or a sea shanty, teepee.
Tree house.
Tree
May the
house.
record reflect here that we're just arguing semantics.
Point of order, I'd like to remind the council that the tornado victims are considered refugee and not homeless. The refugees are whom we want to place in the shelter. The homeless in Magro can stay in their shelter.
Point of information, Mr. Mayor?
Yes?
The homeless shelter in Magro was destroyed.
All right, well, so this changes everything then. So the Magro homeless are now classified as refugees.
It doesn't matter. I won't be discharging Overlook's homeless. And furthermore, for the love of Christ,
Well,
Roy.
excuse me, Joe, we are not using the C word today. Thank you.
I will not be displacing one group for another. Find someplace else to put the refugees.
as ineffectual today as he was during his entire term.
You missed me, Joe.